In the headlines, passers-by rush to the aid of baby left in car. Dollar coming for Spider's seat.
Spider has lost the seat at least on 2 occasions.
And Instagram blocks carnival content.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good evening. It is Wednesday, the 31st of July, 2019. Welcome to the Hot 7 Nightly News. We're on Flow, channel 117, also being simulcast on Kiss FM 105.5 and 105.9 radio. You can also watch on our free mobile app. Just search for Caribbean Hot FM in the Play Store. I am Solaj Alfred, standing in for lovely St. Amy Joseph. On Tuesday, 30th July, around 5:30 p.m., a large crowd gathered near Massey stores in Leclerc in an effort to assist a baby who allegedly was left behind in a vehicle by parents. Unofficial police statements indicate the mother of the child had gone into the supermarket for her regular shopping, and afterwards, the father of the child had followed suit, apparently not realizing the mother had left the infant in the vehicle. Passers-by observed the baby in the back seat and rushed to assist, believing the baby had been abandoned in the vehicle. One witness spoke off-camera to our crew, sharing her thoughts on what she describes as the irresponsible actions displayed by the parents.
I believe the parents were a bit irresponsible in the sense that there were two of them. One went to the supermarket and one came into the nearby restaurant. The fact that it was a tiny baby, an infant, to leave an infant in the car in that hot weather, unattended, I believe it was irresponsible of them. There were more than one children. They could have left an older one with the little one and leave the door open, or one parent could have stayed while the other one went and do whatever it is that he or she had to do. I know if that was in a different country, social services would have taken the child away from the parent, because as a parent you do not do that.
The eyewitness gives details on how passers-by and customers of Massey Stores supermarket in Leclerc tried desperately to free the child from the locked vehicle.
Customers saw the child in the car. They tried to, I saw one customer came, got a piece of cardboard and tried to fan the heat away from the child, because I think the window was cracked a little bit. When that did not help, what they did, they tried to pry open the vehicle to take out the child. Then someone called the police, so the police arrived, the ambulance arrived, they checked the child, they make sure the child was fine, and I think they handed the child back to the parent. I don't know what happened after that.
As a parent herself, the eyewitness advises other parents to not take lightly the blessing of parenthood.
I know all of us are busy, we have stuff to do, but our children depend on us, and they cannot fend for themselves. And if you are busy, you have to go and do something, take the child with you, because it is extremely dangerous to leave a child in a vehicle. We have heard stories, we have listened to the news, we have seen children dying from heat stroke when their parents leave them in the car. So I would advise, whatever you do, do not leave your child in a vehicle unattended.
Unofficial police reports indicate the baby was not in the car for a significant amount of time and was taken to the hospital and is doing fine. The political fraternity welcomes a freshman into its ranks, throwing his hat in the ring and contesting the seat for the Groseley constituency as a representative for the St. Lucia Labour Party is Urban Dolor. A statesman at heart, the former principal of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College says he brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to the table. More in this report from Marlon Clovis.
The upcoming 2020 general elections is gaining traction, with the different administrations readying the House to compete to be the ruling party. A sought-after seat, and one which carries massive weight, is that of Groseley constituency. Going head-to-head with current parliamentary representative for Groseley, Leonard Spider Montoute, looks to be private citizen and former principal of the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, Urban Dolor. He says the task before him may seem daunting to others, but Montoute has been ousted in the past.
Well, Spider has lost the seat at least on 2 occasions, and he lost while he was an incumbent. My own sense of this is that the Grizzly seat is what some people would consider to be a bellwether seat, in that whichever party wins that seat over the last maybe 5 or so cycles have actually gone on to win the election. So it is a tough seat, yes, but I think that with the correct disposition and the right amount of work, it is a seat that the Labour Party can win and will win.
Dolor says the current state of affairs in the country is worrying, and the St. Lucia Labour Party distinctly different approach to governance is what is needed to bring the island back on track.
The St. Lucia Labour Party distinguishes itself from the other party because, among other things, the St. Lucia Labour Party is keen on helping develop people, so that it looks to develop human resource with the intention that such persons will bring productivity to the employer. I think the other party tends to look at enriching, in a sense, the employer, with the hope that the employer would now bring benefits to the employee. So it's almost like a different approach to development in the country, because both parties obviously are interested in developing the country. One sees it as developing people, the employees, with a view to helping the employer. The other party sees it as developing or providing suku and support to the employer, with the hope that the employer will then trickle down to the employee, as it were.
The former principal says, with his wisdom, knowledge and experience, he looks to bring an elevation within the political sphere as to the caliber of individuals governing the land.
I think that I bring a wealth of experience and skills and knowledge to bring to bear on the political situation in St. Lucia. One of the things that many people have said is that persons who have the experience, who have the skills, do not necessarily put themselves overtly into politics. And I think that's a bad thing, because at the end of the day, if persons who have the requisite skills, personality and so on do not enter into politics, then it just leaves the door open for persons who may be less qualified to enter. And improvements will not come about unless we have persons who are actually the best for the particular situation.
Dolor went on to speak of improvements he looks to bring about the constituency of Grizzly. The island's last general election was held on the 6th of June 2016, where St. Lucia welcomed a new political leader, Prime Minister Alan Chasney. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Marlon Clovis.
The announcement the region may be experiencing a decrease in rainfall in coming months has sent the Water and Sewage Company, WASCO, into overdrive in an effort to ensure the raw water supply on island remains at a constant and customers have regular and frequent access to water. Novita E. Green tells us more.
The Caribbean region should be bracing for a deficit in rainfall, so says the Barbados-based Caribbean Climate Outlook Forum, CARICOF. It is said that long-term drought, which runs until November this year, is evolving in Northern Belize, Dominica and St. Martin, and that it might also be possible in Antigua, Barbados and St. Lucia. And with this information, the Water and Sewage Company WASCO is taking a proactive approach to ensure the stability of a consistent flow of water amidst drought conditions, so says Communications and Marketing Officer at WASCO, Sherry Ann Gillard-Williams.
We have been informed by the experts that we can expect decreased rainfall in the coming months. And naturally, as a water supply and distribution company, any such news would be of concern to us. And we want to advise the public that we have put measures in place to address any sort of reduced rainfall or any sort of reduced supply in terms of raw water, so that we can keep our customers supplied regularly and frequently. When it comes to WASCO and its intakes and our water sources, we do have a plan in place to activate those sources that we do not regularly use. So in a case where we would have reduced rainfall and reduced water supply, we would be able to activate those systems so that the customers are not adversely affected.
Gillard-Williams went on to offer sound advice to customers of WASCO She says an investment in proper storage should take precedence for those still without the resource.
What we kind of advise our customers is to invest in water storage. So if you can get a water tank, or you can get your water storage containers, your buckets and your containers and whatnot, so that you can store water in case there is any sort of eventuality that will adversely affect customers, we advise you to make an investment in that. It's always a wise investment, because you find that whether or not we have decreased or increased rainfall, it does cause a level of interruption for the customers because of maybe reduced water supply, or maybe too much water supply. And in the case where you have too much water, where you have floods and so on, we do have a situation of turbidity, high turbidity and whatnot. So we would advise customers to invest in water containers so that they are not adversely affected, whether during the drought or whether during floods.
As to the duration of the expected drought, it has not yet been determined, but Wasco's advocacy of preparedness is one echoed year-round. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Novita Emmanuel Green.
The culture of the region is usually in full display during the various carnivals celebrated throughout the Caribbean. One way visitors engage and immerse themselves in Caribbean life is through the liking and commenting on of exciting pictures seen on the social media site Instagram. Unfortunately, Instagram's recent blocking of carnival content has robbed worldwide viewers of that opportunity and warranted a swift apology from the social media site. More in this report. Instagram was forced to issue an apology after hiding posts under related hashtags of Carnival in the Caribbean, so says international media source Vice.com. It was reported on July 16th, users observed a prompted community guideline violation notice appearing when trying to view the hashtags, #FusionMass, #St. Carnival, #Zufo Carnival, and #Trinidad Carnival 2020. The notice read, quote, "Recent posts from hashtag are currently hidden because the community reported some content that may not meet Instagram's community guidelines," end quote. The argument raised by many social media users was Instagram's suppression of a historical cultural practice may hinder the flow of interested persons coming to the island and can create an economic deficit affecting tourism and business on the island. Many users are now keeping their eye out for the content on Instagram of Barbados's Grand Coudamont Parade, frequently attended by mega pop star Rihanna. You're watching the Hot 7 Nightly News. When we come back, Emancipation Day fever, public opinion on emancipation celebrations, and the chance to win $5,000 from Bank of St. Lucia. We'll tell you how when we return.